Deputy Speaker. For too long, our economy has not worked for West Bromwich. Low wages, low growth, broken public services, families unable to make ends meet, our huge potential going unfulfilled. That was the legacy of the Conservative government. That's why the country voted for change. And last week, finally, we saw a budget which turns the page. Madam Deputy Speaker, I'd like to thank the Chancellor for this historic budget and talk about three things. How this budget looks after the finances of families in West Brom, how it gets our public services back on their feet, and how it will turbocharge growth in the West Midlands. Last week, Labour's budget looked after ordinary families in West Brom. We promised in the election we would not put up taxes of working people, a promise we've kept. Carers were being trapped in poverty by the weekly earnings limit, so we've raised it. Young people were doing the same work for less pay, which we're changing. And perhaps most significantly of all, 12,000 workers on the minimum wage in Sandwell will receive a £1,400 pay rise next year. That's the difference a Labour budget makes. This was also a budget for public services and, critically, our NHS. In West Brom, our GP satisfaction rate is 15% below the national average. We have 80,000 people waiting for a hospital appointment, and we are in the absolutely scandalous situation that life expectancy in my area has been falling over the last 10 years. The Conservatives spent a decade destroying the NHS, and now it falls to us to rebuild it. Last week, our Labour Chancellor gave the NHS a cash injection that will deliver 40,000 extra appointments a week, state-of-the-art new equipment, and support for our NHS staff who have been pushed to breaking point. All of this is futile without reform, and the Minister set out earlier how we will achieve this. But the people of West Bromwich know that if you want a well-functioning and modern NHS, you have to pay for it. And we have made the difficult decisions to do that. I want to finish, Madam Deputy Speaker, by highlighting that this was a fantastic budget for the West Midlands. It will support manufacturing jobs in the automotive industry, which is so important to the region. It secured the future of HS2 to Euston because people don't want to get on at Birmingham and get off at Odock Common. It funded the extension of the Metro to Brierley Hill. And it gives our Mayor, Richard Parker, a funding settlement for good bus services and local projects that will make a difference. Under a Labour government, West Bromwich is going to see the change they voted for. And I am proud that my party has delivered a budget which fixes the foundations, protects ordinary people and rebuilds our NHS.